for me today is from Castillo Blanco de los Arroyos to Almaden de la Plata. And it was one of those Via de la Plata stages where there weren't many options to plan your day. Different from my day one, where pilgrims could walk about 20 kilometers or less between towns, there were only 2 towns separated by about 30 kilometers in this stage. In the first half, there were about 15 kilometers of asphalt road, and in the second half, there was a short but steep uphill climb not far from Almaden de la Plata. I woke up early again, and after having a sandwich for breakfast, I went to a quiet and large empty room in the albergue, away from all the other pilgrims, where I could pack my backpack without disturbing them. On the wall was a frame with a photo of the lovely couple, Paco and Leo, from one of the many Via de la Plata videos I watched to learn about this Camino route and its community. It was still dark when I left Castillo Blanco and in the first kilometers of the asphalt road. After leaving the city behind, it was dark enough to see the stars. The road being still quiet, I put my phone on the floor and managed to take photos of the night sky with dubious results. The temperature was 8 degrees, but I felt comfortable wearing all my layers, coming from colder temperatures in Boston. Overall, I felt better than the day before, having slept well and not skipped breakfast, and the asphalt didn't bother me as I thought it would. I even enjoyed the ups and downs on the road. It felt like a good opportunity to train my legs, as I trained in many on flat terrain back home. After a few kilometers on the asphalt, I joined a dirt track parallel to the road, which made the first half even more enjoyable. At the end of the first half, I could see the first signs of the Sierra Norte de Sevilla Natural Park, a landscape of rolling hills covered in cork oak trees. Soon enough, I could see the gate to Berrocal, an estate in the heart of Sierra Norte. It was also where the second half started, left behind the SE 5405 road. I took a break in the small shelter at the gate, ate another sandwich, and took a nap in a sunspot while drying my long-sleeved second layer, still wet from drying on a foldable drying rack inside the albergue in Castillo Blanco, as it was raining outside. The gate is also where some pilgrims start their day, taking a taxi from Castil Blanco to manage the distance and difficulties of the stage. I don't know how long I slept there, but I became more energized after. And gladly so, as the Sierra Norte Park featured extensive dehesas, part of the UNESCO-designed Dehesas de Sierra Morena Biosphere Reserve. They are Mediterranean open woodlands with environmental and cultural significance, which provide habitats for diverse wildlife species and support traditional land uses, such as cork harvesting, sustainable forestry, and grazing of Iberian pigs and cattle. Dehesas are not exclusive to the park though. They were everywhere. My first taste of it happened with Sabine in the second half of the day before, after the rain made nature even more beautiful. I walked alone all day too, only seeing 3 pilgrims. And it was great. It was one of the reasons I chose this particular Camino route, as I wanted some quality time for myself. Having that, I started noticing as a first-time pilgrim some differences from other trips. On a more practical level, as a tourist on previous trips, I constantly stopped to record videos and take pictures with my smartphone, which I love. There was an urge not to do so this time, and it was harder to focus on the task. The body wanted me to keep going, to keep up the pace. Nevertheless, being less tired, I still recorded and took pictures much more than on my first day. I also noticed I was becoming more introspective. Being alone naturally gave me more time to think, and as life became simpler, I had fewer of those modern life distractive thoughts. With less noise, I could be more contemplative and clearly understand the ones I want to focus on. But this happened when I was deliberately thinking. Most of the time, I just quietly observed and admired nature, which was easy when walking such a beautiful park. I enjoyed the beautiful scenery of the park in nice weather, which started to become cloudy as I got closer to the day's final challenge, the Calvario, a moderate hill near Almaden de la Plata. I stopped many times to catch my breath during the ascent, but was okay, as I could get a glimpse of the views waiting for me at the summit. I didn't stay longer at the Calvary viewpoint. The descent to Almaden was rewarding, with beautiful views and many flowers. After a long and joyful day, I finally entered Almaden. I felt so tired and relaxed that my body gave up. I felt lightheaded again, even stronger than on my first day. I quickly entered a grocery store, trying to find something to eat or drink, but it was difficult to think clearly, so I left and entered the bar next door instead. I ordered a beer, maybe because I thought the carbs and sugars could briefly raise blood sugar. But it worked. I sat at the table outside the bar, rested briefly, and ordered more beer and food. I stayed there long, only leaving when I felt well again. Then I finally managed an albergue, where I gladly saw Sabine and Pili, a pilgrim I met in the Castelblancos albergue. Ingolf was there too, but this is for another time. Wow, what a day.